Welcome back to the Nerdrotic channel. My name is Gary Beekler. I am live in San Francisco, California, and I come to you from nerdrotic.com. And this is the Nerdrotic Nooner. If you're newer to our channel, this is where started out as a practice live stream to do solo stuff, and it just kind of took off from there. It's a lot of fun to do, and this is where I talk to you in the chat. Basically, we do a little back and forth, find out what you guys like to do, like to see from our channel. Today, I'll lay some topics on the table, but really whatever you guys want to talk about, we can talk about today. I'm going to go over last night's Westworld, last week's The Expanse. We could talk about Legion. There is some news today that Westworld and Game of Thrones are skipping Comic-Con, which I thought was very interesting. There's a lot of people skipping Comic-Con, but Warner Brothers is coming hard on the superhero side, so that'd be an interesting thing. I am off this week, except for tomorrow, and I am headed down to VidCon, so I'm going to talk about like what to expect from there, because I have no idea what to expect, to be honest with you. I'll also go over to IO9 because I like to get triggered, and I'm sure I'll find an article that'll spurg me out a little bit, and we'll check out the spoilers section there. There's also a couple of articles from Bounding into Comics I want to go over. We can talk some comic book retailer stuff. There's just all kinds of stuff we can talk about, and we'll see. We'll get a few more people here in on the chat. Hello, everybody. Yeah, sorry I was late. Once in a while, YouTube updates stuff, and when they do that, the inside, like once you sign in, gets freaked out. And it's mainly not them. It's how Chrome's cookies are set up. So I have to go out. I have to restart the computer, clear out all my cookies, and usually things are fine. And I run on a Mac, so I usually don't come into those problems. But I did today, and I had to find all the articles I was going to go through today, and I'd pull them back up. So that's why I'm a half an hour late. But I definitely want to start out. Yesterday was Father's Day, and I'm a dad. So I had a dad. Well, it's kind of funny, but well, it's not funny. My dad passed in 2001, and I also have a birth father who I've never met and don't know. But we got a little closer because of 23andMe. I don't know. It's like every Father's Day I get a little closer to wanting to meet him, but he's never really sought me out. So, but I found with 23andMe, they do the DNA testing and stuff, and they match you up with anybody who's signed up. And I found a direct first cousin last night. So shot a message to her, and we'll see if we can find Pops. And thank you for the happy Father's Day, Morks. Thank you very much. Yes, proud papa of 2 sons. One is just turned 21, and the other one is about to turn 13. So having some fun puberty stuff with him. And they're both like, yeah, my oldest son is 7 inches taller than me. He's huge. And my younger son is catching right up. They're getting so big. It's unbelievable and sad in a lot of ways. Yeah. So it was Father's Day yesterday, and we got an interesting Father's Day present from Westworld, which was funny. I saw The Incredibles 2 yesterday and Westworld, and I was going to do this big video on it was going to be called Hollywood's Daddy Issues. And I still plan to do it. I wanted to do it on Father's Day, but work has been absolutely nuts, so it kind of got away with me. And this is going to be a video that actually requires research. Again, if you're new to our channel, we only do live stuff here, so I don't do edited videos. So I'd have to do a ton of research on that. So what I decided to do, and I'm still going to do it, I'm probably going to do it this week, was just based on the last 10 things I've watched. I got enough material on bad fathers in Hollywood and kind of how it's gotten like really cliche, in my opinion. Not saying that they don't portray bad mothers, it's not going to be a video that's going to be some anti-feminism rant or anything like that. It's just going to be pointing out fathers. That's it. Also, I want to warn, there will be some spoilers with some Westworld talk today. So I got to put up our sign. made by the amazing Viking Bitch. And again, she is a great artist. And when this rolls into a video, I will put a link to her website. You can see like her leather art. It's really insanely good. Yeah, it's really cool. So last night, and I can't show any images from Westworld, unfortunately, or we get like a crazy copyright strike. WB is nuts about that stuff. So we're in the spoiler territory. If you guys in the chat want to plug your ears real quick. Yeah. So William killed his daughter last night. And so that was our Father's Day present. I thought that was an interesting choice. They knew that episode was going to land on Father's Day. Was it a giant troll job? Kinda. Yeah, I see it that way. It didn't take away from my enjoyment of the episode. If you can enjoy something as dark as last night's episode was, which was crazy because the week before we got this in Westworld standards, we got a really light episode, one full of love and hope, and man, it just took it the other direction last night. And I really want to see how this plays out. It would be too harsh to judge it right now because they could follow up with a great reveal and we'd all go, yeah, I've made that mistake with Legion. I judged Legion way too harshly on its second episode in its first season, and I almost quit the show. And I'm glad I didn't, because I saw Resolution and was completely wrong. So if you go back and see our Dennis and mine, our Legion season 1 episode 2 review, we shat on it pretty hard, and then we had to come back and said, we're sorry, we're wrong. It's a great show. So which we do a lot. And also, I don't want to say that Hollywood doesn't portray good fathers. It's just really, really rare. And I'll just ask you this: name 5 good fathers from the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which has 19 movies now. And you can't even name 4. There I guess there's Scott Lang, but he's been to jail a bunch of times, and so he has a lot of good intentions. I don't know how good of a father he is, though. And my definition of a good father is like, you can be divorced, but you just be in your kid's life. Be active in your kid's life. Love your kid. That's it. I mean, there's a lot of situations out there where parents divorce, and sometimes that's actually better for the kid than having 2 parents bickering the whole time. I mean, the best situation is to have 2 people, I'll say 2 people in the household. But there's a lot of amazing single mothers out there. I know quite a few that have done awesome jobs with their kids. Shouting out to you, Akemi. You're awesome. Yeah, and we try not to get too controversial here, but that's the one that's been really gnawing at me. I just like to see, hopefully the MCU can do this with like the Fantastic Four when they finally get their hands on the Fantastic Four. After seeing the Incredibles, I got on a Fantastic Four kick, and I started reading the John Byrne Fantastic Fours again. God, they're so good. That is a great opportunity to have a good, solid family movie. It doesn't have to be like perfect 1950s, like, hi, Reed, I'm cooking your dinner for you. No, but I mean, just like a family unit fighting together, I think is so cool. Didn't get a ton of that in The Incredibles 2, but I'll talk about that later. I love The Incredibles 2. The animation was amazing, was off the hook. I can only really think of Clint Barton, says Dakota. Agreed. Clint Barton is the best dad. He's active in his kid's life. He does have to go off and work. He has them hidden. And I have a feeling something really horrible is going to happen to them in Avengers 4. And I hope not. Yeah, you should watch the recent Netflix movie, Cargo. I was bawling my eyes out at the end, all about what a father will go through for the love of his child. I will check it out, Silver Spike. Hell yeah. Dennis mentioned Taken, which would probably be my number 1 father. And after I saw that movie, I called it dad porn. It basically, it's like, I'll kill the world for my kids, which I kind of would. So, yeah. And we got some people in the chat. How is everybody today? Happy Monday. Oh my God, I'm so glad to have a week off, man. Tesla's been crazy. Yeah. It's been crazy. But I survived. Okay. The news is all out there. By the way, that Tesla had cut 9% of its workforce for what I speculate is a stock boost and to get rid of some redundancy. We had been doing that with stuff. I can't get into it too much, really. Maybe I've said too much already. I did sign an NDA, but that made it out in the news, so I guess that's out there. But yeah, it's been a bit of a bloodbath. But I survived, and so did all my friends who I work with, which was cool. That was nice to see. Honestly, I'd have probably put myself on the chopping block first, over the two guys who have like infant kids, or one of them's got an infant kid, and the other one has a 10-year-old, and they're good guys. Plus, I have plans for the very near future. As a matter of fact, I might even announce it today. What the hell? Let's put something juicy in today's live stream. So yeah, maybe in the middle I'll announce, because I have a date. I have a date for my future plans. So okay, so yeah, so William killing his daughter last night on Father's Day. I cannot get over that. It is kind of funny in a way. I don't think she's dead. I've watched the episode twice since then, and there's a scene where the security force comes in because Emily had called him in, and they check William. Now, for the whole William is a host thing, he checked out as clear. Okay, but as Dennis pointed out in our review, and we get into our theories in our review, please check out that review from last night. The device that checks you if you're human or host is based on the bomb that is in your spinal column that blows you up. So that could, William could be a host still, just without that bomb. We saw Emily get checked. We saw the guard look at his device, and to go back when William got checked, it hits the device, and then it you see a line, you see it progress and then say clear. So I don't know if enough time passed for to render, or what, I can't think of the word right now, for the machine to boot up and give a response, because before the guard could react to what he saw from Emily's scan, William shot everybody. And then he still thought that Ford was fucking with him, and he thought Emily was a host because she was acting kind of weird. She was, but he shot her. But then he got confirmation, or what we think is confirmation, that it was his daughter. That would be one of the pretty much darkest moments in television since the Red Wedding, but even darker because I like. Even with villains, I like it in stories where there is some form of you can redeem yourself. That would make Williams pretty irredeemable. But everything William has done, he's been manipulative to humans, and he's been a dick. But he's done to robots. But he's also done it to robots knowing that they were becoming conscious, which really, that does make a difference. So where are they going to go with William, the character? If it stands as it does right now, his whole journey, to me, I don't know, it doesn't feel fulfilling if it ended up being a big long punishment for him being bad, and a punishment by Ford or possibly Logan. There is so many things, and I think I wasn't fully on to Dennis's theory that Logan being really involved in this theory, but they showed the scenes from next week, and I think he's kind of spot on that. So we'll see. We're definitely wrong with a bunch of theories on this stuff. So we're not in love with our own theories. I really like to hear your guys' theories. We heard some great ones last night, and they're really fun. So we have the Westworld finale next Sunday. Please check it out. Please be there. It's going to be huge. Those are some of our most watched live streams, and we have a lot of fun live streams here. We do. Silver Spike says, sadly, William has finally gone nuts. And if that's just it, I might be a little disappointed in that. That's the first time I would be disappointed in this show. I know some people have been. I haven't. I've been loving this season and the craziness. They warned us. They came out and warned us for a year. They said it's going to be absolute chaos. Like shit is going sideways and it's not going to get resolved. We could also talk about you didn't miss much, Bad Bunny. I just talked about Westworld's Father Day present last night, and you were there for that podcast. So let's get to. I want to get to Game of Thrones, and we'll also talk about Lucifer too. We want to talk about Lucifer. A guy kind of got on us for Friday for making it sound like we thought Lucifer was completely bad, which I don't think it was completely bad. I think Lucifer is somewhat procedural, but its move to Netflix, I think, will change that. And it's definitely something, and especially if they shorten the season, we would definitely cover it. All right, here we go. So this is just the latest casualty to Comic-Con. And I don't understand this. I really don't. We're not going to get a Game of Thrones this year. So I guess I can kind of understand them wanting to save expense, but you just got bought out by a huge company. I think you're fine. And I think it would behoove you to keep your IP in the ether, keep it out there, build up speculation, show a couple clips, because you're taking a year off. And I know Game of Thrones is the biggest show in the world right now and everybody loves it. But the biggest show in the world, taking a year off hurts the biggest show in the world. I give you the example of Doctor Who, which is now taking, out of the last 4 years, has taken 2 years off. And it has completely hurt the show. It has devastated the show. To the point where the ratings for a regeneration, especially one that's as controversial as regenerating into a female Doctor Who, got meh ratings, got so ratings. And it should have been, to me, I thought it was going to be the most watched one, just out of people hate watching and, love watching. But controversy sells. So when controversy stops selling, that means apathy is kicked in, which that is the death of a franchise right now. A lot of people are calling the IP that shall not be named. They're calling it dead, but no, there's enough people who are still pissed off to where I will say that IP is not dead. When people stop talking about it, that's when it's dead. Game of Thrones and Westworld skipping San Diego Comic-Con for 2018. HBO has decided to sit out this year's San Diego Comic-Con event, meaning there will be no panels of Game of Thrones and Westworld. Reps for HBO stated, due to the production schedules and air dates of Game of Thrones and Westworld, the series will not be presented at San Diego Comic-Con this summer. HBO has a long-standing relationship with SDCC, and we are very grateful for the fans' enthusiasm response over the years. We look forward to returning there in the future. So I'm going to interject here. That means we're not getting... this is going to be a new thing, folks, especially with these higher production value TV series. We're going to have to wait 2 years in between series now. That's going to year and a half to 2 years. That's going to be a regular thing now. They did that a little bit with The Sopranos, but it's going to become a regular thing. I don't know how great that is. You got to have a really great show to pull that off. A great example of that is Taboo, which is a great show, but I don't know how many people watched it. And it's going to be 2 years in between season 1 and 2. Definitely check out Taboo season 1 if you have not. The announcement marks the first time Game of Thrones has ever skipped the annual San Diego Comic-Con appearance, whereas ranked amongst the most anticipated panels at the event. And that's saying something, because Game of Thrones generally doesn't. It usually shows up after it's aired, so they don't give you anything new. They just kind of do a rundown of the season and have the actors there. And for it to still be anticipated is a big thing. And I think this is a huge mistake. I will say it again. Westworld debuted at San Diego Comic-Con last year. It's noted that gathering cast and creators at SDCC is expensive, and many outlets are taking this into consideration before announcing their intentions to appear at the massive marketing event. Other premium cable networks such as Showtime, Sci-Fi, BBC America, History, and AMC are all expected to return to San Diego Comic-Con, while Star's appearance at the event is still in question, as they are focusing their Outlander panel on the New York Comic-Con event. I don't think Stars will show up. They seem to be really hard up for money. Game of Thrones is set to return for its final season in 2019, and Westworld Season 2 finale airs next week, June 24th, and will eventually resume production for its third season, which I predict will be very late 2019 or probably early 2020, which might not be good. But it also kind of makes you wonder about the power of San Diego Comic-Con. Is that like losing its power? It's becoming, I'll be honest with you. I've been to a lot of, Dennis and I have been to a lot of Comic-Cons together. I have been to many, many, many. I grew up down in San Diego, so I've been to over 30, 32 plus, maybe 35. I got to go back and count. I've been going since I was 6, and I am 48 years old. So I've skipped a couple in the early 90s, but not much. And it is become increasingly hard to walk around on the floor. There's more stuff to do outside. It's getting really spread out. It's nearly impossible, unless you're a really patient person, to get into Hall H. There are ways, if you're willing to miss like the mega huge panel, you can still sneak in there. It is possible. But also there's examples of things that are huge at con that don't really translate well. I'll give you Snakes on a Plane, which was the most talked about thing at Comic-Con, and that movie bombed. Serenity, which had some of the best panels. The Firefly panels were awesome, and you would think that movie was going to take over the damn world, which it kind of did, but it didn't do it in theaters, which was really where it needed to count. That was the distributor's mistake for Universal for doing too many free showings, and probably overestimating the enthusiasm from Comic-Con. Of late, Marvel's skipping it this year, but Marvel has skipped it before. Like Marvel actually skipped Comic-Con for a decade, and it didn't miss them. So, but DCEU or Warner Brothers is going heavy with the DC announcements, which is, I think, going to be good. Snakes on a Plane. That was a bit odd for Comic-Con, but I'm sure stranger things have happened. Omari, it was very strange, but it was just basically the concept of it was so funny that everybody loved, snakes on a motherfucking plane. Dakota says, I love the Song of Ice and Fire, but interest is waning even for me. I mean, my profile pic is Rob's crown. Right, Dakota? Interest is waning in the show and in the books for a lot of reasons. Okay, George, keeps giving us, side books, and he's given us some maps. I'm looking over at my books here. So he's given us the Land of Ice and Fire, the World of Ice and Fire. We're going to get the Targaryen book, but we are not getting the main book. And people are, even the most patient people, which is me, because I was like, I'm still, the man can do what he wants. He's earned that right, of course. But there's a point where it's like, I don't want to waste my time in a story that's not going to get finished. My kid is getting into Game of Thrones, and I'm like, you might want to think about it, because he's not going to finish the story, and he said publicly that he's not going to let anybody else finish the story, which I think is kind of cruel. Hi, Feisty, how you doing? So yes, interest is waning. Interest is waning in the show. We can go down the reasons, and people can disagree with me, and that's great. I'd love to hear about it. But season 7 was not their best season. It was short. It was late. And it was really the thing that bugged me the most, is what bugged everybody, was the traveling around after they had spent so much time developing the realness of, like, it takes time to get to places, and the slow burn. You could tell that the creators of the show were relying heavily on George R.R. Martin's source material, and when that stopped coming, they went, oh, and I'll harken back to go look them up. The articles that said there could be 10 seasons of Game of Thrones. And then George R.R. Martin came out 2 years ago with that cryptic When's a Winter post-Christmas post saying, yeah, I wish I would have written it too, but I didn't, and I'm sorry. And things changed right after that. And all of a sudden it turned into shortened seasons, and it's going to end. And then the book not coming out. I'm more of a fan of the books than the show, but I love the show. I want them to end it right. And at least with the show, we are getting an ending. Okay. We are getting some sort of an ending. I just don't think I understand why he's coming out with the Targaryen book. It's to give us something, okay, which is cool. And those books are good. The World of Ice and Fire is great, man. I've read that thing 4 times. It is awesome. But oh, you sound like a dick when you say write the book, George. You sound like an entitled fan and stuff, but forget the money fat. I've spent a lot of money on stuff. I've spent a lot of money on a first printing of Game of Thrones. Let's talk about the time I've invested in reading a story that might not get finished. That's something we can argue about. Time is something you can't get back. Okay. And when you start a story, it's a promise. It's a promise to finish it. Now, again, he has every right not to finish it. He's earned it. He's been writing for years and years, and he deserves all the success he has. And he also gave us Meow Wolf, which is a beautiful thing, which I'll always love him for. So, I mean, yeah, I'm torn on that one. I'll admit I'm torn. My entitled fan goes, "Give me the book," and my reasonable adults all, "Hey, it's just a book." Yeah, let's get to some of the chat here. Westworld not going is dumb, says Feisty Fan. It is straight up dumb. Especially, yeah, I would say even more than Game of Thrones. Westworld not going to Comic-Con is really dumb. That is bad move. But I think it might have something to do with the transition with AT&T, and they're trying to cut some costs. But I think that's a really stupid move. Especially, second seasons are rough on TV shows. Just look at them historically, maybe with the exception of Star Trek. Okay. Second seasons are tough on shows, and Buffy. All Jar Jar Martin needs to do is show up at Comic-Con and say he's done with Winds of Winter. That's all we need. Omari Daniels, that would make the Comic-Con. That would break the internet, as people like to say. The minute he says it's done, when you see, there's a picture you're going to see, Omari. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. When he was done with on his not a blog, when he's done with Dance of Dragons, he's got that picture of when he talks about Winds of Winter, or anytime he's writing Song of Ice and Fire, he's got a little monkey on his back. Right when you see the monkey off his back, that means it's done. And he'll tell us the minute it's ready to go. He'll pop it up there. I remember when season 1 started, he had just finished Dance of Dragons. We're like, oh, this is great. We're gonna get another book and the TV show, and then things happened. The thing is with George, and bless him for it, he's a freaking nerd. So like when somebody invites him to like, hey, we want you to be at this con, he genuinely loves these cons. He like comic book and stuff like that. I'd be the same way. So I'm kind of a hypocrite. I'd be creating, but it's, hey, Gary, you want to go to con? Okay. But I'm going to VidCon and I'm not canceling any podcasts. I mean, I will do them from my car if I have to. I'll try not to. I got myself a Motel 6 because I'm cheap in an undisclosed location. That's pretty damn close to the con down there. $60 a night. That's all I need. I need a bed. I'll bring my own sheet for bed bugs or whatever, but it's Motel 6. They're pretty clean. They leave the lights on for me. I know. I wish Martin would have just finished the book so they didn't have writers writing the plot with him. Yeah, Mary. At this point, Mary, and thank you, Mary, I would be okay with the co-writers of The World of Ice and Fire, or James S.A. Corey or Neil Gaiman coming in and like helping him. Like I just want it finished. It would take away. I mean, his writing style. I love his writing style. He's my favorite writer. I love it. The problem is so much has changed. Oh wow. Oh my goodness. We got a big old super chat there from Dakota Stanton. For 1 bottle of water at VidCon, I think that's the right price. Yes, that's about what it's going to cost. Dakota, thank you so much. $20, man. Come on. Jeez. Yeah, I love to tell the story. I got 2 so I have my kids with me. So I got 3 sandwiches, 3 bottles of water, and I skipped on a bag of chips. So we got 2 bags of chips, 3 sandwiches, 2 bottles of water, $65 at Comic-Con. Yeah, definitely sneak your food in, okay? That is not a joke. That was the year my friend JD, who's kind of a drinker, decided to be funny and put his vodka in a water bottle, and then he left it in my cooler. And of course, both my kids went into the cooler to go get a drink of water, and they both got big old swigs of freaking vodka, which was yeah, I heard it from Melissa. I think I still am hearing it from Melissa. Yeah, that was not cool. Mako asks, why do you even need Comic Con these days? You make a huge online event for the fans cheaper, more focused. Isn't that the point of Comic Con? Fan service? It is, Mako. But it's also Comic Con for me anyway, has never been about the panels. I used to go down there to actually make money, which you can make a lot of money. But the thing about Comic-Con that's different than any other fan convention is you sell stuff there, and there's millions and millions of dollars traded on that floor in cash every day. Every day it's there. It's nerd mecca. It's where you go to talk to people and hang out. It's why I used to go to Coachella all the time. I didn't care who was playing. It was my group of friends who I like to hang out with, and we ended up never seeing the headliners. We always went to the back tent with the watching the Rakes or something like that, which nobody's ever heard of. Yeah, and that way it's who you hang out with. So Dennis and I we do con good. We do have little different tastes. Dennis really loves to get his freebies. He's really into that. But they've made that hard and annoying. Like a lot of places where you get freebies, you get a ticket, and then you got to walk a quarter of a mile to the Hyatt and pick up your thing, and it's usually just, and they don't tell you, and it's like sometimes it's a fidget spinner or something like that, something terrible. Now I like to walk around the floor and yak with people. That's all I like to do. Now this year we are going to go to some panels for shows we cover, and I'm going to ask some questions, and that's something I've never done. I've never stood in the line to ask some questions. So when it gets closer to con, I want to take your guys' questions, so we'll we'll work something out on that end. Oh, where is Penn Farm Girl? Is she off doing stuff? Good for her. Taking a break. By the time Winds of Winter comes out, the rights will have reverted back to Marvel. I kid. I'm surprised Amari. Surprised he never got sued for that romance novel that's called Winds of Winter. At Heroes Con this year, they had a green room with free lunch for exhibitors. It was fantastic. Yeah, they cannot do that at Comic Con. That's brilliant, though. They need to do more of that. What was the sandwich, Ray Rain? It was, oh my God. I think it was just like a turkey sandwich. It was a turkey sandwich, yeah, because I don't eat like I'll have a ham sandwich, but I'm weird with food. So if I eat tuna fish and ham, but only if I prepare it. Turkey's pretty safe. So it was a turkey sandwich. And avocado. Don't forget the avocado. Did they at least like the vodka? Yeah, they pretended to be drunk from it, and they were being drama about it, which did not help anything. I was like, come on, pump the brakes, kids. And they're like, nah. And I'm like, oh shit. They knew what they were doing. Comic-Con is too big for all the entertainment journalists too. They can't get in on the ground, firsthand footage and interviews. If they just, all you have to do is watch the streams. Yeah, Amari. For a journalist, it must suck now. It used to be really fun, but it must suck. For one, they're handing out journalist passes to everybody. And you know what killed con? You know what it's filled with is comps. It was 10 years ago when the fire marshal actually made them put a limit on the tickets. Okay. Because there used to be no limits on tickets. That's why. And it would just work itself out. But it started getting too big. And the fire marshal came in and said, yeah, only 125,000 people max in this building, which is still bullshit. There's still double that in the building. There's 250,000 people down there. at any time. Um, so they started limiting the amount of tickets, and then Hollywood started getting involved, and then comp tickets got involved, and that took the number down. So the reason it sells out so fast is because they're only actually selling probably like 80,000 tickets, but there's 175,000 people there, and a bunch of those are comps. And you also have to count the exhibitor tickets. Each table gets 8 tickets. So the exhibitor pass is the absolute best pass to have. You don't have to wait in any lines. You can go in after closing and opening, and that is one I'm getting this year. Thank God. And you know, it's about damn time. I got so many people into con. Wizard Con is meh, but is the only one that I could get to reasonably, says Dakota. Yeah, I agreed. I went to a bunch of they're the worst ones to exhibit at least in LA. Okay. LA cons are terrible to exhibit at. That's why San Diego, the big Comic Con, will never, if it moves to LA, it'll die. It tried. It's not going to do it. Sleeping with Alex Kurtman will give you STD, says Mako. Maybe that's what I should have titled the video from last Friday. Definitely check out last Friday's video with Doomcock on the entire show, which was hilarious. I have not laughed that hard in a long time. Get to yeah, Feisty fan. Are you going to have an exhibitor? I think you're going to have a pro pass for Comic-Con. Those are different. Those are like us, the regular folk. Yeah, it was tough going to Comic-Con after I exhibited there for years and years, and just being a regular person. I had to get over that, but now I'm fine with it. I bring my food into Disneyland, says Mary Ashmead. Yes, we do too. We do too. I sneak my candy into movies. I am cheap. I like to have more money to buy toys and stuff. So you got to have more money for that shit. Which I might be going to Disneyland if VidCon is boring. I mean, I was looking at I really should have thought this through before I bought the tickets, because I was looking at all the panels and stuff, and it's really cringy. There's some analytics stuff I'm going to check out. I think it's more just to meet, again, to walk the floor and just meet people. And maybe I'll meet, I don't know, some big YouTuber. I'm trying to think of a big YouTuber I want to meet. That'll be there. I don't think Doomcock will be there. I don't think Midnight's Edge will be there, or World Class Bullshitters. By the way, Doomcock's about to blow up, folks. Enjoy him now while he is he's not even small. He's got he's gonna pass me up in subs probably in the next day or two, which is fine. I'm totally cool with that. I wishing him nothing but success. But the World Class Bullshitters in the comments section have invited him on their show, and it's gonna be right after that. And if that doesn't do it, then Star Trek Discovery Season 2 will make him a legend. It does good stuff for this channel too, to be honest with you. And it's the only show I regularly crap on, because it deserves it. Gosh dang it, I hate it when I lose my place in the chat here. You're getting a pro pass for San Diego Comic-Con. That's cool. You still get in. It's fine. A movie for Nobi says, "Hey Gary, 250,000 people. At least you and Dennis can be tracked with your brain bulbs." I've been listening, but can't participate. Hello, all you lovely people in the chat. What's up, Fanobi? Yeah, we'll be doing live streams maybe twice a day. I hope that doesn't get too annoying for you folks from Comic-Con. We're going to do one for sure every night, kind of recapping what we did, but we're also going to try to like meet people, and we'll see what happens. Mako says, read Leviathan Wakes, Gary. But it was such an easy read. Oh, I read Leviathan Wakes, Gary, but it was such an easy read. I read Caliban's War 2, and my finger is itching for Abaddon's Gate. Yes, you just can't stop. That's why the reason I pushed my book review off for a week was because I'm actually driving down there, and I want to listen to it one more time before I do the review. And again, I have no idea how I'm going to do that, but it'll probably just a discussion about it. I love that book so much, and if that works, I'll do more. Mary says, I live in Salt Lake City, and they got in trouble for calling it Comic-Con. I'm not sure what happened, if they were allowed to keep the name. I don't think they were at first, and then yeah, I honestly can't remember what happened. I remember San Diego Comic-Con won at first, but I don't know if there was a an appeal to that. I can look real quick. Salt Lake City, San Diego Comic. That was bullshit for Comic-Con to do that, by the way. I was not happy with. By the way, what is a nonprofit? You know, I guess you can do that because a nonprofit. WWF sued World Wrestling. Nope, they lost. Salt Lake Comic-Con infringed on San Diego Comic-Con's name. That was December 8th, 2017. That's bullshit. You know, Comic Cons used to be really kumbaya. Okay, everybody was welcome. There wasn't a bunch of infighting, but that just seems to be what 2018 is. Infighting. Yeah. Honestly, I think we'll get a good gauge on this Comics Gate thing and see how big it is, how big it really is. I mean, it's big on the net. No, that's without a doubt. But at Comic-Con, which is the single largest gathering of nerds in this country, we'll see how big it is. It could be. I don't know. Oh yeah, you're right, Dakota. I lied. I crapped on Krypton, but I gave it a shot, and I didn't crap on every episode. On Star Trek Discovery, I crapped on every episode, but you're right. I turned on Krypton. But I'm not going to continue with Krypton. I'm done. I'm not going back there. I'd rather like take that time and do Lucifer or something. Apple Crow's asking Viking bitch, she's a Legionnaire. I became a Legionnaire. I got to pick what I'm a lord over or something like that. I haven't done that yet. I spoke with Doomcock. I gave him a message last night. I gave him a little gift because he's awesome. I'm a 101% nobody. And is from where I am, Pakistan. You are not a nobody, Mr. Vane. You are somebody here in this chat. Okay, don't sell yourself short. Are you really in Pakistan? That's brilliant. Hello from Pakistan. See, bringing the world together. That's what we do here. We bring the world together. Funniest fucking road rage thing ever today. So I'm pulling out from the gym, and you know, sometimes I get a little spaced out, right? So I cut a dude off, and he pulled up right next to me, and he looks at me, he's all pissed, and he's all, what did he call me again? I don't know. Oh yeah, he goes, you shit fuck, and I looked at him, what's a shit fuck? And then we started laughing, and I just went, I'm sorry, dude, I didn't see you. He's all, oh, it's cool. So it went from like total rage to laugh. I'm not doing it justice in like a nanosecond because I was just a little thrown off. I'm all, what's a shit fuck? And I guess we don't need to. I probably know what it is, but I was just confused why he called me that. And he laughed. I laughed. We drove away. It was cool. And man, the internet needs a lot more of that. That's what I was thinking, was like, there's so much fucking bullshit arguing. And if you were face to face with somebody, you would never talk to. That's I guess the beauty of the internet. But we need some more of that. What'd you call me? And just laugh about it. It was because it was funny. I'm a shit fuck. They turned it was that's crosstalk. Sorry about that. Funny thing, Dewcock, welcome. Funny thing, Doomcock, welcome. Don't touch any buttons, and for fuck's sake, don't let Harvey out. Oh, that's right. He's a charming guy, and he's going to kill us all dead, lickety split. So resist the temptation, right? Movie Fanobi. That little puppet looks innocent, but he's not. Hey, we even heard from Harvey a little bit on our show. That was quite an honor. That was fucking great. I have not what I decided what I want to be the minister of. Is it like anything I want, Viking bitch, or is it? She's asking me because part of the Doomcock Patreon is you get to be the minister of something if you become a legionnaire. I have to think about that. That requires a lot of thought. Oppositional defiant. I could be the minister of contrarious. I can't say it. If I can't say it, I can't be the minister. A minister contrarian. That's what I am. I just mentioned the whole face-to-face thing on the live stream. Did you, Feisty? Yeah. Oh, it's getting spicy over there. It's getting salty. Again, it ramps up, it ramps down. Good for them. It'll get them some clicks. It's pretty much anything that you want as long as it's not taken, says Feisty Fan. I'm the minister of avocados. I don't know. You did not miss the Expanse talk, Tarka Jedi. I talked a little bit about book reviewing, but I got some Reddit I'm going to get to and stuff. And we're going to talk about season ending and what you guys think. I like to hear what the non-book people think, how the season's going to end, because it could end in a couple of places that we don't know about. It's so fucking funny to me that the Expanse, the whole Mormon part. My husband and I laughed our asses off. Oh, Mary, yeah. Oh, yeah, being in Salt Lake City. Yeah. And they just punked the poor Mormons. They do, I think they are suing Tycho. By the way, Feisty, thank you for I got Tycho badges from the Comic-Con from Spicy. That's awesome. Did I say spicy? Feisty. Why did I say spicy? Are you spicy fan? Gary Avocado Beekler. That's me. No, not really. I have a nickname. You can't nickname yourself. I do have a nickname that I've had since I was like 6 months old, and it's Beak because my last name is Beekler. The announcement. Well, we could talk about it right now, Marks. I know, spicy. Sorry, Feisty. I meant to say feisty. I said spicy. I'm kind of hungry. All right, so let's hope that nobody from work is listening. Can't promise that because actually a lot of people from work do subscribe. This isn't no secret. Okay, so and if they find out, they find out. That's why, like, when the 9% layoff thing was going to happen, I wasn't worried. I really wasn't. I mean, it would suck to lose the job that early. It's months before my plan is to kick in. So I used to be a comic book retailer. Okay, I did it for 10 years. Everybody in the chat knows that. But just in case you're new, I owned the Comic Outpost in San Francisco for 10 years. I'm not going to say all 10 were wonderful. I'd say 8 were wonderful and 2 kind of sucked. But it was great fun. It really was one of the most fun jobs. Was the most fun job I ever had because I got to talk to. It was like this every day. We just talked nerd shit every day. It was great. It was heaven. There was some rough stuff to deal with, Diamond and stuff, but overall, I enjoyed it. I was good at it, and yeah. So I had just moved to San Francisco, lived here for not even a full year, bought a comic store, didn't know the lay of the land at all, and pulled it off. My comic store won Best of the Bay in 2009, and that was on San Francisco Gates website, which is the San Francisco Chronicle. So that was a huge achievement, and that was voted on by people, and we beat some fucking big comic stores that year. So the comic store evolved. Had a lot of fun. Had to sell it. Okay, 2008 happened, and honestly, we trudged along for a few years, but really, it was breaking even, which sucked because my clientele was going up. But my wife and I both we co-own businesses together, and it was getting too much on the family. Plus, the comic store was making less and less money. even though I was getting more people in there, but I had to pay employees, and it gets really expensive here in San Francisco. They nickel and dime you to death. So I got tired of breaking even. So I was going to shut it down. Then Brian Hibbs came in and said, "Hey, why don't I just buy it?" And I said, "Sure." It wasn't as easy as that. It was screwed up. It was kind of a crappy time in my life. But I had a 5-year non-compete. So I couldn't buy a comic shop or own one or sell comic books in any way, shape, or form within 30 miles of the store. So the plan was, okay, I'll go beyond 30 miles. I kind of want to get up to North Bay. There's no shops up in North Bay, particularly Napa. There is no comic shops in Napa. There's one in San Rafael. That's the one I shop at. It's a quiet little shop. It's okay. But I've always planned on opening another shop. And I want to continue the plan I had at the Comic Outpost, which I really can't go into. But it's a way to survive in current comic environment, which is pretty bad. We just had 50 stores close. A lot of people have asked me if I'm crazy. The answer is yes. But I fully intend to do it again because, for one, I have succeeded before. I have lived through some dark comic times and some very good ones. Actually, I sold at a really good time. 2013 was a great time to get out. So I'm going to open up another one. And the date is December 16th. It's a Sunday. So I've decided to wait till the 5 years is up to the day. And the next day I'm going to open one up. It's going to be here. It's going to be somewhere around San Francisco. It might not be in the city because the rents are stupid and I can just go down to Daly City and find something, but it's going to start out as a pop-up. Okay. So we're going to start out as a pop-up, do that for a little while. Scott, is that the Scott Edwards? What's up, Scott? Hey. I used to work with Scott Edwards back at Acura. How's your dad? So I'm going to be opening another shop. I'm working on a name right now. The whole plan was to kill time between the 5 years. Dennis and I thought up this podcast idea. I've always wanted to integrate the podcast and the comic shop. I wanted to do that back in the Comic Outpost days. I could just never get people to come in regularly. I'll give you the biggest secret to YouTubing and podcasting right now. Consistency. Doesn't really matter how great you are. It doesn't. Like, I'm nothing special, but we put out stuff almost daily, almost on time, and we continue to do it, and we haven't stopped. We haven't take week breaks. We don't take huge long break. We're not inconsistent with our videos. I'll tell you right now, the biggest problem with comic book review videos, I'll criticize you all on this, is you guys you're not consistent with your books. You do Iceman number 5 and then you do random shit. If you're going to review Iceman, review every issue the day it comes out. Your channel will grow. You'll get more consistent views. Now there's some guys who have bucked that trend based purely on their personality, and that's great. But if you see a lot of comic book review channels are stagnating, sorry, I can't fucking talk, on either 6,000 subscribers or 20,000 subscribers, and they're not growing because they're not consistent. They're just not consistent. And that's what everybody says. You ask every big ass YouTuber, and I've done my share of learning. And the first thing they say every time is consistency of content. You got to come out with stuff. Pretty much, and you got to, so when we do our TV shows, we do the whole damn thing. Okay. That's not, it's hard for people to do. It's really hard. And I understand that. So that's probably why. But, so back to the comic shop though. So I haven't got a name yet. So the whole plan is to have this show, like this show isn't going to suffer because of it. It's going to be a part of it. All right. So it's going to be a huge part of it. Like we're going to have a studio in the shop. I'll have a studio at home. We'll have a studio in the shop. I will be traveling a lot more once I own the shop. I will be hitting pretty much every big to middle Comic-Con in the country because I love to travel and it's fun and it's lucrative. And we'll do road shows and stuff, and we plan on growing. So it's all part of one big thing. Do I call the comic shop Nerdrotic? Maybe. I don't know. I don't think it's a great name for a comic store. I think it's a good name for a channel. I don't think it's a great name for a comic store. I'm working on it. I really wish I could get my old name back, which wasn't even, I didn't even think of it, but I got used to it. Okay. Because when I bought the shop, it was called the Comic and Card Outpost 2. It was part of a chain. It was 1 and 2. One had closed already, so I just called it the Comic Outpost. And I'd love to have that back. That's something I got to talk to Brian about. Chances are not going to get it back though. Brian will probably want some money, and I don't want it back that bad. I mean, if it was reasonable, sure, but I have some ideas. Maybe we'll make it a contest. I have no idea, but yeah. So it's going to start out December 16th as a pop-up shop while I look for places. But there is a comic shop down in San Diego that's a bit of my inspiration, called Comics and Stuff. And they're an okay comic store, but what they do, they've been doing the pop-up thing for almost 30 years. And he goes in the malls and finds shops that have broken their lease or backed out, and offers to go in there and, like, for a lowered rate, stay in that lease for a few months, and then he moves to a different part of the mall. And he's been doing that forever, and it's genius, and it really works. You don't have to pay the big mall rent, and he's in multiple locations. He's been doing this for many, many years, and it's a great plan. So my wife is really into pop-ups, and I've also had to, like, ease the wife into thinking this is a good idea. And 5 years was it's a good long time to wait. And honestly, it would have been sooner if it wasn't for Tesla. Tesla just kind of landed in my lap, and it was too good to be true. I mean, just the money we're saving in benefits. I mean, I'll tell you right now, I pay $60 for full dental, vision, medical for an entire family, and that's before taxes. That's awesome. That's worth it right there. But yeah, December 16th. Now, of course, Tesla could hear this and just can me, but it'll still be December 16th. And then I'll be able to YouTube more, and it should be fun. I would fly to America to buy comics from you, says Tarka Jedi. That is awesome. Thank you. A third shop is opening up 3 miles up the street from ours. So within 4 miles is 3 shops. I'm not happy. Yeah, it kind of sucks, but that also means there's a market for it, Feisty. So the best thing you can do, what you can do. I'm not going to, here I go with my unsolicited advice. I'm sorry. Be yourself. Because that's how you're going to beat anybody, is customer service. We all sell the same shit. So it's how you present it, and how you are to people. I was very confident in my customer service. The only guy who's better, and he'll always be better, and I'm okay with people being better, is James Sim at Isotope Comic Book Lounge, which is a fucking amazing shop. And he is such a solidly good dude down to his core. A lot of people like, oh, there's no way that guy could be that nice. And he really is. He really is he's never been anything but nice and kind and helpful. And actually, a lot of the comic shop, that was the weird thing, San Francisco, and it was a really great thing, was all but one were helpful. They were like, can I help you with anything? At first, I'm like, who are these guys? Why do they want to help me? Get away. You're trying to screw me over. But no, they were generally good guys. And you know what? All their shops are still here through all this crap. If anybody can make a comic store work, it's you. You have the gift for making people like you. Thank you, Viking bitch. I have a gift for pissing people off too sometimes. I really do. Thank you though. Newsprint Canada has to be percent recycled, said Bad Bunny. I believe it. Which is funny because a lot of the comics are, if I see, correct me on this, I could be wrong. So when I sold the store, most of the comics were printed in Canada, but I think they're being printed in Asia now. You would know. I don't even read comics, but I'd probably buy something from your comic store. And you said on the best. Thank you, Mako. Just call the shop Nerdrotic. Maybe. Yeah, Mary, it's going to be, Oh, I have been waiting for confirmation from the boss, from Melissa. Melissa has to be, for me to really do this, she has to be 100% on board, not kind of on board, like, because I don't want a repeat of what we went through, which was hard. Um, her salon got super successful, still is to this very day. And my comic shop, while on the outside it looked like it was gangbusters, the money just wasn't there. It was me making some mistakes. It was also I couldn't afford employees and I couldn't be there all the time. So when it finally got to the point where I was there all the time, I was there 12 to 14 hours a day. I had a cot there. I was sleeping there. It was getting to be too much. Plus, I also really get into my work. I do. I go nuts. Um, and when you guys, I hope you all can feel that someday if you're into it, is like owning your own business is fucking rad. There's so many rad things about it. Plus, it's yours. You're completely into it, but there's no vacations. There's no breaks. There's no net. You got to do your own taxes. There are big drawbacks to it. Thank you, Movie Fanobi, for the congratulations. Yeah. Oh, it's kind of fun. I just it was a whim this morning at the gym. I was like, I'm gonna announce it because Melissa had said, yeah, we're doing the pop-up December. She's all, when's your non-compete up? I'm all December 15th. She's all, okay, we're doing the pop-up December 16th. I'm all, fuck yeah. Here we go. Here we go. So I've got some money set aside, and as you can see, I have a comic store worth of stuff. I could open a comic store right now. Like, all I need is some new releases. But I mean, I've got trades. And the thing is, I mean, it looks like I'm a big collector now, but the minute I start that shop, I stop collecting again. Like it has to end. That is the biggest and hardest thing to do with the comic store is to stop collecting. Because if you keep, I did it for the first couple of years, and yeah, it really cost me. It was a costly mistake. I thought I was going to be different, even though every comic shop owner told me that was the first thing they told me was stop collecting them all. I'll be different, and I wasn't. Nope. Uh, yeah, what Feisty? She had a stream today. Go check it out. It's going to roll her in a video. Going through the chat. You wish you worked for me? I wish I could afford you, Feisty. I don't know if I can though. Minimum wage here is $15 an hour, and God, to live here, you would need to make minimum $25 an hour just to live here. And I mean, like, that's somewhere in East Bay where you got to BART in every day, and yeah. So, I mean, I can tell you a little bit that I'm going to make a destination shop. So it's going to be, there's going to be back issues, collectibles, vintage toys, stuff I like. I have some arcade games in my garage and a vintage pinball machine. So I'm gonna probably buy some more. You can actually buy cheap arcade games, stand-up arcade games. I know a guy who you can put like 1,000 into one. I'm probably going to get a couple of those and do a little bit of an arcade because it was fun. I just dug it. Everybody's saying I didn't understand what you were talking about. Feisty was probably talking a lot of inside baseball stuff about comics. There is, if you guys don't know, and believe me, don't dive in. If you don't care about comics, like, don't dive in because it's really complicated. I'm just going to break it down. If you guys remember Gamergate, there's a Comicsgate thing going on right now. It's Gamergate's very hard to define because it's so many things to so many people. Comicsgate's pretty much the same way, but it's it's at times nasty, at times funny. It's a thing. It's a definite thing that if you're not into like basically drama, YouTube or Twitter drama, it's going to bore you to death. So, but it's hurting the comic industry and helping it. It's very hard to define. It's not something I want to get into here. I've not associated myself with that moniker at all and won't for my own reasons, because Well, basically because I was a comic pro and I'm going to be one again, and I would like to be one again. And you have to be, you got to be smart about things. Okay. Now, if you don't plan on being in the comic industry, talk all the shit you want. But I don't know. It'd be like me talking a bunch of shit about Tesla right before my job interview. I wouldn't get the job. So, but once I get in, that's when you can actually enact some change. Who's got more power than a lot of comic artists and writers? Not the top tier ones, but most comic artists and writers are not paid very much, and they do it for love. But comic retailers have way more power than they do in a lot of ways. Right, Feisty? $5 super chat. Oh, I missed one from Morks too. God dang, sorry, Morks. Morks has a hashtag Nerdrotic calendar, comic book store startup fund. Dakota Stanton, I have seen 3 shops close in 2 years, so I have to ask you, do you see comic shops in general, will they last into the 2020s? As a growing industry, Dakota, no. No, I do not see it. I see them they're going to go back to what they were in the beginning, which is a niche hobby. That's what they are now. They never really could translate the $1 billion movie success to comic books. Now, to merchandise and stuff like that, that's a whole other story. And you have to branch out now. You can't just, what I had before was pretty much a pure comic store. That's all I sold. I will have to branch out into gaming and all that other stuff, but I'm ready to do that. I retailed for a long time in my life. My first jobs were at record stores. So look at a comic shop like a vinyl shop, like an old vinyl shop. Old vinyl shops will never work in like a small town in Kansas or anything. But they work here in big cities and in big sprawling suburban areas. So that's where the comic shops will be. The little comic shop in Topeka, Kansas, I don't know if they can survive. I don't know. It's not a growing industry, but has zero to do with Comicsgate, and it's got everything to do with Diamond Comics in the direct market. There will be people who disagree with me, but there are also people who just got into comics like 3 years ago. Okay, they got to look at things a little farther back than that. This is exactly what I don't like. You bring up why I like coming here. Consistent reviews. I respect. Plus, that's exactly what I don't like. Oh, sorry. Consistent reviews. I respect. Plus, fun. Of course, the Expanse and the Expanse campaign. Yeah, I can't read Target Jedi. Thanks. Sorry about screwing up your fucking chat there. Yeah, like Doomcock is now, there's exceptions to that rule. What I was just talking about with YouTubing, Doomcock just puts out fucking awesome videos. Like every one of his is like a home run. So the fact that he's only put out like 30 videos or something like that, but he's got like 4,000 plus subscribers. Like I said, he's going to hit by the end of the year. Correct me if I'm wrong. I will say minimum 30,000 subscribers, maximum 80. And then the following year, he's going to really blow up. But going on the world-class bullshitters will absolutely blow him up. 10,000 subscribers minimum from that. That's my prediction. What? $15? I love it already. It is so important to stock non-PC stuff and stick to the lines like The Flash. And of course, The Watchmen. The Watchmen. Don't get me started on the show. Really? It saddens me. I hope I'm so wrong about that HBO show, by the way. It's funny. The Watchmen trade, I used to sell 10 to 15 of those a month, like clockwork. Like it was like the most consistent fucking trade paperback ever sold. The movie came out, killed the sales because it was so close to the book. I mean, besides the ending, It really it did. And another great example of that was since no, the opposite effect of that was Sin City. When Sin City came out, I could not keep Sin City trades in stock. It was so nuts. It was like printing money. Coffee is good. Bad Bunny, there will be coffee in my store. There will. I will be consuming most of it, but there will be coffee. I just don't know if I'm going to charge people for it. I did free coffee for a while, and then too much was getting spilled on my carpet, so I did have to stop it. But I'm not going to have carpet this time. Um, the reason I did carpet because it was effing freezing in my store. So during the summer in San Francisco, Mark Twain isn't bullshitting, and if you're down by the ocean, it's foggy every day and every night, and it's bloody cold. It's average temperature like 50 degrees during the summer. So while you guys are all like baking in the heat, you know, I'm all layered and freezing. Mako says you'd be a fantastic gaming shop. Thanks. Thanks. I know little about it, but I would find some, I get my son, my oldest son. He knows his shit. He's my little, I don't know if he's a millennial. No, he's a Generation Z. So he's my little Zed. Not so little. 6'7". My 6'7" Zed. uh what? Gary's like a charismatic, insane John McAfee. What? Oh my god! You know who's giving guys like okay, like this almost made me shave my beard. I'm not gonna let Chuck Widnick or whatever his name shave my beard. I'm not gonna let him shave my beard. I'm not gonna cause him to shave my beard. How's that sound? That sounded a little weird, didn't it? But this dude, okay, this dude right here, like full on attacking Star Wars fans and stuff. The only thing I can say about him, other than like quit making guys with beards and glasses look like complete assholes, is I read your book, Star Trek Aftermath, or Star Wars Aftermath. I don't know. Has anybody else read that out there? Did you guys read that book? Oh my god, I rarely stop reading a book, and I stopped reading that book. It was really bad. I'm sorry. It was filled with like sentence fragments and stuff. And if I'm figuring that out, a guy who has been kicked out of 2 high schools, okay, not left, kicked out of 2 high schools in 10th grade, is pointing out your poor grammar, that's saying something. It really is. I would love to have you guys all there for the opening. Once the opening's there, I would. So we'll probably live stream it. Well, of course, we'll live stream it. But yeah, that would be a fun meetup or something like that. I don't know. It's tough to get here though. This place is effing expensive. Mako says Aftermath was a pile of garbage. It really was. I will tack the person on his content alone, and yeah. For some reason, I could see you on a couch drinking coffee and talking shows and comics. Target, that's pretty much it. You got it. It's not gonna be much different than we're doing right now. I don't see any reason to change this format. I know it's not for everybody, but nothing is for everybody. After Dakota says Aftermath made me reread Legacy again. It was so bad. It was. It was. You know what doesn't get enough love is the Star Wars Dark Horse comics. They were great. I loved them so much. Anybody read Infinities? You want to see? Here's me talking good about Star Wars. Star Wars Infinities. You need feisty order Infinity trades if they still make them, and push them. They are brilliant, and it's basically alternate versions of A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi, and they are kick ass. They are all good. Mr. Vane says, I actually have a really bad habit of just not smoking. I smoke and I add brown sugar to my smokes. It's hard. Can you do that? Really? I didn't know you could do that. Thanks, Bad Buddy. I've seen a picture of me without my beard. Keep the beard. Yeah, I got a beard face. Is that what you're saying? Yeah. Honestly, where I work, I got tired of being called kiddo. All right. And it's like, dude, I'm fucking 10 years older than you. Shut up. Uh, no, I like the beard. I don't know if I'm going to keep it super long forever, but no, the wife would probably divorce me. Nerdrotic Christmas party. Hell yeah. I'll stick with the Star Wars EU books. Says Ray Rain over. Yeah, those, they were good. The few that I read. Um, yeah, that is a long flight from Australia, Target Jedi. And I'm sure the coffee will be good. Have to get coffee here in Brisbane. Dude, I need to go to Australia. I've been wanting to go there since I was a kid. The thing is, I'm like horribly afraid of flying. I do not like it. But Australia falls under the rule of it's worth dying for to go there. So yeah, I do long flights. I'll do Europe and stuff like that. I will not get on a puddle jumper to go to San Diego or something like that. No thanks. I'll drive. I love driving, by the way. I love driving in California. When I go down to LA, I hit the coastal route. The I-5 here is basically like driving through hell. But if you go on the coast on the 101, it is gorgeous. Takes a lot longer, but it's worth it. The Nerdrotic formula works. Don't change it, says Viking Bitch. Won't do it. Won't do it. Annan Fox. £5. Is that it? It's European $5. First time managed to catch you live. Have you read by Richard Cadry, The Laundry Files? Have you read by Richard Cadry or The Laundry Files by Charles Stross? Both a recommend. No, but I always write down my recommendations. And thank you for the $5 European dollars. I got to write this name down. Richard Cadry. I promised after I had sold the comics shop, I would read more like books. And I have, but I mostly read nonfiction, weird woo-woo stuff. Like Graham Hancock and stuff like that. I'm on a Randall Carlson kick right now. Some sacred geometry. That's some weird stuff, man. I mean, it really could be just guys taking way too many drugs and looking too much, through their third eye, but it's interesting. It really is. Thank you again, Annan Fox. I appreciate the super chat. Going down the chat here. Australia is all about driving, beaches, friends. Sounds like San Diego. Family, and of course, blue skies. Yeah, it sounds like a San Diegan would fit really well in coastal Australia, for sure. So I don't know about getting in your water. Some dangerous things out there. And you got big spiders. That's kind of cool. I like that. The 101 is beautiful. My brother lived in West Sac for 25 years, went to UC Davis, got his PhD. Wow, Mary. He's smart. Dennis went to UC Davis for a little while, my co-host. You own a comic store there. Well, congrats to getting his PhD. Hopefully some good news on family health front. FF sending good vibes. Oh, Mr. Vane. Okay, you're talking about the prequel to Game of Thrones. I asked Viking Bitch. I was ready to quit Game of Thrones. I was like, I'm fucking done. I'm just done. George, you go your way. I go my way. We're cool. I understand why you can't finish the book. I'm not happy about it, but I'm not gonna like tell people to boycott all that shit. But the whole video was gonna be wrapped around time and how time is irreplaceable. Money is replaceable. Okay. And please, if I sound like some rich asshole, I'm not. Okay, very middle class. I have a huge respect for money, but we're only on this earth so long. Okay. And yeah, time you cannot get back. So wasted time and many hours reading those books over and over again. And that was going to be my whole thesis. But then the prequel news came out and it's going to be about the Age of Heroes. And like the little fucking fanboy I am, I went, okay, I'll watch it. I got all excited and it sounds fucking awesome. And what really sounds great about it is it's not based on the book, it's based on the lore, and they can really do shit all day long or all decades long from the Game of Thrones universe because it's so full. Here's my problem. You can't go cheap. If you're going to go back to the Age of Heroes, there's fucking dragons flying around, there's direwolves, there's children of forest. We're going to do the long night. They'll probably have it go into the long night. And another thing about Game of Thrones is you really got to get away with, you got to like go into it wanting to tell the best story with the best people available, telling the best story, getting the best actors available, whatever they look like, I don't care, and not go into it like everybody's going into everything now, which is like, we need to satisfy this and this and this and this before we write our story. It's going to suck. It's going to suck. Your story's going to suck. Go in there, find the best people of it. Westworld's a great example. And The Expanse, another great example of we're just going to make the best story and get the best people available. And boom, you got what you got. And it's fucking wonderful. And everybody's happy. You know why everybody's happy? Because you got a good story. It's not because, Dominique Tipper is, I can't even say POC. I mean, I've spent my entire life raising my kids to not see people like that, never to see people like that. And seeing it's like a bad dream. But nobody thinks about that because she's a great actress. She's fucking good at her job. And she's like, I can't think of anybody else being Naomi. Could you see anybody else being Naomi but Dominique Tipper? I mean, she is Naomi. And no, she doesn't look like the Naomi from the books. But for some reason, now when I read the books, I see like just a taller version of Dominique Tipper, because Naomi's supposed to be really tall from the books. Sorry if that's a spoiler. But I still see Dave Bautista as Amos in the books. I think but I mean, could you see what anybody else but Wes Chapman? I mean, like, I think there would be revolt if he left the show. I mean, I might revolt, I'm not even in the dudes, but shit, that's a handsome man right there. Okay. Lots of respect. He must work out. I'm really worried that for the Game of Thrones property, he has to finish off the series, staying true to the books without the show corrupting it. Tarka Jedi could not agree more. He has come out and made a public statement saying it's just a producer title. So that basically means like his name's on the book. They're going to probably come to him and ask him a couple things, but he was really heavily involved in Game of Thrones. And let's not forget that George R.R. Martin, while is a writer, is a TV guy. Like, that's his thing. Like, he wrote TV shows. He was involved heavily into the 80s Twilight Zone, which was so fucking good. Like, fantasy might not be his best writing. Like, he's a horror writer. He's really good at the like really short, amazing, dark ass short stories. And he's written so many things. I had no idea. The more I got into him, I had no idea how much that guy had written. So I can see why he might be a little tired of it now. I can understand that. I kind of wish he would just end it with Winds of Winter. Like, don't do A Dream of Spring. Do something unconventional. Do Winds of Winter. If you need an epilogue, then come out with like an epilogue and just call it that. It'll still sell, aren't we still waiting for the J.K. Rowling to make the Harry Potter encyclopedia? That was like the one thing I wanted. Freaking Cursed Child and all that stuff. Forget that. I want the encyclopedia. And she could probably put it together with how much she's changed stuff on Twitter. So the first Expanse book was pretty vague description, though. The cast for the show is perfect. It is. What you get more in Viking Bitch is the fifth book. You get character backgrounds. You finally get the Rosie, because the crew of the Rosie is basically just with James Holden. who was a main character who was through all books, but sometimes he's not the main character in the book. It's they introduce new characters. Now they can't do that with a TV show or be practically an anthology TV show. So they've made a lot of changes to keep the Rosie crew involved in the main storyline. But Anna, who's in season 3, she has a huge part in Abaddon's Gate, giant part in Abaddon's Gate. I think Anna's she's an okay character. I mean, honestly, that in the books, and I'll tell you this in review, there's only one character who's ever annoyed me to where I had to kind of start skipping through her chapters, and it's the second incarnation of Michio Pa. The first incarnation, totally fine with. She fit within the story, but they wrote her so different. Yeah, it really jerked me out of the story, but I like the book around her parts. She still kind of is the worst Minister of the Year movie, Fanobi, for ignoring that guy. But that's in the TV show. But I mean, okay, she ignored the guy, but I listen. She's going through a ring in space. I would be distracted too. So I thought that was actually real. I thought they did a good job with that. I say the last night's episode of Westworld wasn't great in parts. Hopefully they will fix some plot holes in the finale. William asks his daughter how she found him in this big park. That was true. JD reality. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry about that. JDF reality. I'm withholding judgment on last night's episode because I think they're going to answer it now. I can't talk about. I can't get pissed about like what they've done, and because I've done this before, and then they resolve it. They're definitely. I don't think Emily's dead, or they're going to undo it in some way, like this is all a simulation or some shit like that. And it depends how they pull that off. So I'm hanging back on that one. I enjoyed last night's episode, but if they just stick with William killing Emily, I don't know how much I'm going to like that. I'll be honest with you. That might one of my biggest problems with any TV show is when characters start acting out of character and making bad decisions over and over and over again. Okay. Where it's just, now you're just trying to be controversial and you're not really in the character development anymore. That's when you lose me on a TV show. Or if you start talking about your feelings all the time in hallways, CW. I mean, if anybody wants to go out and do that, watch the entire first season of Arrow and then watch the last season and tell me that's the same show, because it's not. I've read the books second and picture all the characters like the actors in the show, says Damian Raw. And that's what I do with Game of Thrones. So Game of Thrones, I was a latecomer. I saw season 1 and just read all the books that summer. So I see all the characters, even though they're much younger in the books. So I'm the same way. I see like an amalgam of them in my head. Holden, I see as Holden. I think Stephen Strait kind of looks like Holden. Holden's supposed to just look like your average guy, you know. Rubicon Alpha, what's up? Mark, what's up? Let me say hi to some people. Ray Rain, hello. Mary Ashman and Tarka Jedi, of course. This is the best chat on YouTube, everybody. Damian Robb, Bad Bunny, Mary Ashmead, did I say that already? Mr. Vane, the Great Mako, Scott Edwards was in here, my old coworker. I actually owe that dude a lot. Honestly, if it was for Scott Edwards and Terry Edwards, I don't know if I'd be here. They like took a chance on me when I had like no skill at anything and took me under their wing. So I'm always going to be grateful for that. Movie Fanobi, I'm just scrolling up here. Feisty Fan, of course, Dakota Stanton, Apple Crow. So these are the regulars here. If you're just watching and you haven't jumped into the chat, uh, uh, and on Fox, these are really cool people. Okay, so we don't get chippy here. And if somebody, I mean, it's okay to like do a back and forth and argue. We don't really do the name calling thing or any of that bullshit. And I will eject you so fast. There are 3 words you cannot use in our chat. There are 3 words that nobody should ever use anyway. So, but if you type something totally normal and it gets retracted automatically, please tell me. Okay, because I want to know, because that might be me fucking with the settings. I usually listen, fully believe in free speech. You guys can argue in there if you want, if it's about stuff. That's cool. I don't care about that. But Lubella, what's up? You're working hard. You can't chat if you're working. I understand. Only Ryan Johnson is banned from this chat for life. I really should. Should I just make Star Wars a word you can't say? Nah, I can't do that. Oh, Ryan Roundhead. I wonder if that nickname's gonna stick. Dennis. Yeah, where is Dennis? I want to hear. Oh, hey, okay. Real quick, Incredibles 2. How many of you saw Incredibles 2? I'll keep this spoiler free. How's that sound? If not everybody got to see it. So I am, like many of you, are a huge fan of The Incredibles, quite possibly the best superhero movie ever made. Brad Bird is, I don't think he's been given a fair shake. And what's up, Battle Marcus? Good to see you. Good to see you. I didn't see season 3, 12 Monkeys. How good is it? 12 Monkeys is good. You got to be into it though. I'm sorry for the delay on that one, but I needed to actually go back and rewatch season 3 because Dennis and I watched season 4, and we're like, I completely forgot everything. I could not do a good podcast on this, so we're currently rewatching it. We're going to do it tomorrow night at 8. So back to Incredibles 2. Incredibles 2. The good parts, I guess non-spoiler, is the animation was Pixar's best to date. They outdo themselves every movie. Pixar's been kind of waning to me. It's been very average, which is not Pixar like. And no, I'm not big on their sequels except for Toy Story, of course. But Incredibles was one that I love. They do a little short apologizing for it taking so long in the beginning, which is funny. And I hope we don't get it. We wait another 14 years. This movie I'll agree with Grace Randolph. This feels like a middle movie. Okay. Was it as good as the first? No, nothing can be. The first was, like I said, almost a perfect movie. But one minor gripe, 2 minor gripes about the film. Okay. It's basically retelling the story. I don't mind. Elastigirl takes front and center, which is great because the way they show her use of powers really should make you excited for a Fantastic Four movie if they're done right. Because this is not a way. Reading a lot of comic books, when you see stretchy people, they're always just really stretchy. They're just like stretching out everywhere, but you don't see them in motion. And when you see Elastigirl move like Spider-Man, and do this insane, there's just like an insane motorcycle scene that is some of the best action you will ever see. It is such a great use of power. Love fucking Elastigirl. Don't mind her taking front and center. I think it is. There was maybe some complaints of feminism in the movie. Then you're way too sensitive to it, and you might be a little insecure, and you might need to get that checked out. Okay. My wife makes a fucking shitload of money more than I do. I am totally cool with it. I have no problems with it whatsoever. I work myself. Now, if I was like hanging around like a pool boy and not doing anything, I might feel bad for myself. But I do what I do for my skill set. Okay. She has a skill set in a field that's fucking amazing. She's at the top for field, and couldn't be more proud of her. She rocks. So that part of it's cool. Doing the whole Mr. Mom thing with Bob was funny. I laughed more in this one than the first one, although the first one is still a better movie, but this one is funnier. Jack is fucking funny. It is hilarious. The Edna Mole scene, love Edna Mole. Edna Mole, sorry, I always say her name wrong. And it was a great movie. The drawback is it told the same story again. and I didn't see the family fight together enough for me. It's supposed to be a family movie, and it really essentially became an Elastigirl movie, which is, I guess, cool. But I think when you make us wait 14 years for a sequel, I would have liked to see the family fight together more than we did. Yeah, we didn't get enough. Dash was cool. Violet was great. Um, Jack kind of steals the show. Yeah, the only disappointing parts, it was kind of a repeat of the first story. Um, really interesting bad guy. Love the bad guy name too. Probably one of my favorite bad guy names. Seriously. And then Bob, Mr. Incredible, didn't really do much. He wasn't very incredible. He was funny, but yeah, there was just I don't know. IO9 made an article just to trigger me. I'm gonna think I'm a big old narcissist now, and I'll show you guys this article. I'm not gonna read it because I'm in a good mood and I want to stay there. Um, but this is just IO9. I mean, dude, IO9 is IO9. What do y'all think of that? Elastigirl deserves much better than husband than Mr. Incredible. It's time. It's time for her to leave Bob. IO9. And people wonder why there's fights in nerddom now. Oh, what was that? Oh. I get notifications on comments. There's some commenters kind of fighting in another video. There's no need to get into that right now. Sorry for the silence there, folks. Now I got to find you again. I don't know. I just thought that was funny. It's time for Elastigirl to leave Bob. It's time for the animated superhero girl to leave the animated husband. He was kind of a dick at first. Okay, yeah, trigger clicks, exactly. Apple Crow. I know. That's why I didn't read it. Um uh you know, Bob could have been a little more understanding. He was having a hard time, but he came around. Okay. No, that was part of the whole thing. And the thing is, it's supposed to be like in the 60s. It's got to have a 60s feel to it. So it's of its time, we'll say. So while some people might have thought it laid on thick, I didn't have a problem with it. I just would have liked to have seen Mr. Incredible like beat up some more shit than that. That's all, you know. Minor gripes though. Walked out of that movie having a great time, saw it with the whole family. Everybody was laughing their asses off. And really, like, Melissa was crying. She was laughing so hard. Like, there's a lot of laughs in this, and it made a ton of money, which is great. So that means we'll get another one. Yay. Bye, feisty fan. Are you leaving? Gotta go. You need a nap? Okay, go take a nap. Go take a nap. I will be we'll be on for like 20 more minutes or so. I don't know. You guys good? I'm good. I can go on. We're gonna do a Farscape a little later. It might get pushed back a little bit though, because I gotta get my FJ Cruiser's getting tires. When the tires are done, I gotta go get them. Man, those aren't cheap, by the way. Holy shit. Yeah, the Inquisition's JDF reality on both sides. I am weary of it. I really am. It's going to continue, and that's cool. I stay off of Twitter, so that's why it really doesn't affect me that much. I spend, I pop in on Twitter and I see how like our group is doing, and our group is really cool on Twitter. They don't get involved in any bullshit, so it's fine. I don't get involved in, and people can, and if that's how they like to pass their time, I am not judging them at all. That is cool. Well, you do your thing, I do my thing. I don't know. I'd much rather watch a YouTube video or watch a TV show or draw a picture or hang out with my kid or pick up dog poop. I do not want to like argue on Twitter. And the best, I heard this from my sponsor. We were talking about this, and he's all, okay, imagine, he was talking about Twitter arguments. He's all, pop a camera on yourself, point it like it's pointed to me, and film or video yourself having a Twitter argument without the context, and then go back and watch it and see how it looks and see how you feel about yourself. So you put it that way, it's like, that's true. We're going to be doing episode 6 today. I still don't know about the future. The problem with and I'm talking about Farscape. The problem with it is I need to title it. Titling is everything on YouTube. So we might just have to do it episode by episode. That'd be a little crazy, but other people have done it. So I got stamina. I do. I am a ball full of energy. I require just a big long night of sleep once a week, which I got last night. So I can go the whole week. Yeah, all I need is like 5. I need 5 hours sleep. I do. I used to be able to. That's the funniest thing. Why how I got addicted to speed. I really don't need it. See you later tonight, feisty fan. Friday Night Tights went 3 hours once. Movie Finobi. It went. I think our longest one, Movie Finobi, is 4 hours. Viking bitch, right? 4 hours. I don't know how many people watched that, but it went a long ass time. We went 2.5 hours with Doomcock was a sport last Friday. I told him he could bail, whatever, but he wanted to stay. So that's, and I will treasure that that was honestly one of the best podcasts we've ever done. I love it. One guy put up a comment. There he is, right there. What is it? Fuppets going. Could you time stamp when Doomcock comes on? Because frankly, you know, no offense, but you guys are really boring. So I gave him the time step of the entire episode because Doomcock was on it. I don't know if he bothered to listen or, you know. Farscape is worth buying. It's very rewatchable. It is. Doomcock was hilarious, Damien Raw. He's special. That is why this channel is so much fun. You avoid the politics. Don't forget everyone to vote up this fun stream. Yeah, thanks. Like, share, and subscribe. Yeah, I avoid it like the plague because it's bad. It's not fun. Guys have, and again, all my respect, I just can't do it. If people like, if you build your channel around hating something or being mad about something, then that's what people come for, and that's what you got to do all the time. So when you try to shift gears, eventually, when that furor falls, you know, goes down, which it will someday, and you try to switch gears in like a more positive direction, you can't. Now, I've seen, and I was, you know, I watched Geeks and Gamers, right? And I saw what Jeremy said, and you know, he's got a point. You know, he tried to do it this way for the longest time, and he didn't grow. And when he grew was when he really started laying, you know, the wood to Star Wars. And you can't argue, he's grown. That's great. But you know, 3 years from now, do you still want to be talking about Star Wars every day? He's going to want to, you know, shift gears, and hopefully he can. And I'm sure he can. I mean, he's got a lot of variety over there, and I'm not. Bye, Mr. Vane. Oh man, thanks for staying up late and watching. I appreciate it. So yeah, not to criticize him at all. It's just like that's not what I would want to do. I'd not want to turn on my camera every day and like, okay, what am I going to bitch about today? Yeah, I'm just not that upset about stuff anymore. Now that would be a different story if it was like if I was doing YouTube in like my 20s and stuff. Oh yeah, I'd be bitching about shit every day. I would. But no, life isn't that bad. It's really kind of good. Yeah, Star Wars could be better, but we got Expanse. I mean, I'd, you know, rather watch Expanse. Wouldn't you rather watch Expanse? I would. I'd rather watch Westworld. I'd rather watch Legion again. I'd rather crack open a comic book. I think many smart people in the U.S. Go for movie reviews a la Doomcock to avoid politics. Reminds me of the USSR when they were smart people played chess to lay low. Is that what they did? I didn't even know that, Mako. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. Doomcock, first and foremost, is funny. He's fucking funny. And that counts for everything. But he's really articulate. So I think our speculation was he was either academic or some sort of a writer himself. I have no idea who it is, and if I knew, I would not tell anybody. But I don't. But I suspect he's probably done some work in Hollywood. I would, because I mean, he's like, his knowledge of it is really good, really, really good. And there's probably a reason he has to be anonymous, which is totally understandable. Um, right, Bad Bunny, bitch, bitch, bitch. Watch The Expanse. There you go. Tarka Jedi says Star Wars will bounce back once they have a fan running it. I think it will have shows like The Expanse. How can we complain? When Star Wars learns how to be fun again, that's when it will succeed. It needs to. It's just it's not fun. I guess The Force Awakens. Argue whether you like the movie or not, was a fun movie. Okay, you can't say it wasn't fun, except for Han. But I mean, it's not a movie I liked or anything. But I could see your argument saying it's fun. I could go, okay, I'll give you that. But that's right. When Doctor Who was in its, dude, when David Tennant and Matt Smith, the first couple seasons, that was just fun. It was really fun. And it wasn't like Nothing Matters fun. That's the thing that got to me the most of Doctor Who was after season 7, the stakes, it just got goofy and silly, and it didn't feel like it had stakes anymore. We were just watching it to watch it. So the bad guys were it turned into Three Stooges. It just, yeah. And they tried to go back to that with Summer Capaldi. And again, let me preface this by Peter Capaldi was a great doctor with terrible writing. It wasn't his fault. Honestly, it's more tragic than the Eighth Doctor, what happened, because at least Paul McGann's TV movie is pretty good. Okay, I like it. And he got that little prequel, which was really damn good. And I love him as a doctor. I wish I would have done more. Peter Capaldi was a great doctor. He grew on me. I loved him. I just couldn't stand the storytelling because it got silly. They had dinosaurs on a spaceship and silly Billy stuff like that, and they had then another dinosaur in downtown London, and he barfed up the TARDIS. Haha, funny, and it's like those would have been cool, except he just threw away everything. He just started loving every one of his ideas. I don't know. I used to love Moffat. I don't mean to shit on him too much. Guy's, fucking great writer. But yeah, Doctor Who got totally ruined. So I mean, I still love Doctor Who. I got my tattoos. I will always have my 10th and 11th and 4th and 5th and 3rd Doctors, who I love dearly, and the other ones are okay too, but those are the ones I love and rewatch. And I watch a Doctor Who. I used to watch a Doctor Who episode every day, like a episode every day, like clockwork at the gym or something like that. It's down to 3 times a week. So I still love the show. Buy that Farscape, Mary. I mean, just if do you like Doctor Who, Mary? If you like Doctor Who, then I think if you like David Tennant Doctor Who, Farscape is in that wheelhouse. Also, if you don't like that, but you like Buffy, I think it's a little bit in that wheelhouse too. It's very optimistic. It's fun. It's a lot of fun. You're right, Mako. Oh my God, I can't wait for the Expanse. I hope there's a panel. And Amazon does a panel. I will stream it live if I'm allowed to. If not, I'll videotape it and get it to you right after it's over. We will ask questions. I will scream out loud, screaming Firehawks if you want me to. Just to find the other, Silver Spike. But we're gonna do a Buffy thing. John and I have been talking about that for 4 years. We're gonna do a Buffy retrospective, and I am ready to do it. Especially since that date announcement I gave you, that's going to give me believe it or not, a lot more time to do more stuff on the show. It'll almost be like full-time YouTubing. And I know you guys will ask, but you'll be running a comic store. It's the comic store I'm going to run is going to be like a smaller version of what I had. Okay. So I'm going to, instead of trying to make this big badass comic store, it's going to be, you're going to have enough room for gaming and stuff, but it's going to be a very simple operation. It's going to be something that I can run by myself. It's only going to be open 5 days a week, so I can have 2 days off. It'll probably only be open 6 hours a day, but those will be a very fun, packed 6 hours. Plus, we'll be doing live shows from the shop that people are allowed to come and watch and participate in. We're going to do TV parties there. So we'll do, viewings of Game of Thrones and whatever's on at the time. Any superhero show, we'll do live comedy in there. We'll also do live art. So we have artists come in. We'll also be doing kids' birthday parties. Kids' birthday parties were fucking, man, they make money. And they were fun. They were tons of fun. Yeah, the kids fucked up some comics. I don't care. They're kids. We will be a kid-friendly store. We will have a kids section. It'll be fun. It'll be amazing. We're going to have a lot of and every square inch of my walls will be covered with something related to comic books. There will be no blank wall space in the comic store. That is a sin. It is a fucking sin. So it's going to be a destination shop, a place to hang out. It's not about what we sell. We all sell the same shit. Okay. It's like who sells it and how you sell it. Presentation is everything. Okay. I made a ton of mistakes. I'm going to hopefully learn from them and I'm going to have a lot of fun. I can't wait. Matt Smith did have attractive companions. Yes. Karen Gillan and Jenna Coleman, both very easy on the eyes. I am a Karen Gillan fan, but I honestly, Amy Pond's, just fearless sense of adventure. Jenna Coleman got, again, given a bad rap. They made her the most annoying, pretentious companion. I couldn't stand her. And then they fixed her for Capaldi. But she was always judging and bossing him around. It's like, God, there's a way to be like that without being so annoying. The way she was in Asylum of the Daleks, which Stephen Moffat did get a lot of shit for, but she was fun. She was flirty and stuff like that. But, and that's how I thought we were getting her. But we got a different Clara every season. We got like this completely different Clara. And it's just, it was crazy. Jenna Coleman's a great actress too. Like she could totally pull it off. And towards the end, she got really good. Okay. I'll give you that. Donna's the fucking best. Silver Spike. You like Bill too? Bill was growing on me. I needed a little more, but Bill was fun. She was like, she reminded me a little bit of Rose. Am I wrong on that one? Silver Spike? I got a little bit of a Rose vibe from Bill. And yes, I will do I don't know. We're not going to be, I'm not going to be, I don't want to crap on Doctor Who, so I'm just not going to cover it when it comes out. I hope it does well and makes millions of dollars, but I don't think it's gonna. The merchandise sales have taken a giant hit for Doctor Who. That I do know. Rubicon, I rewatch Farscape once a year too, especially now that I get to talk about it here. Yes, it's a place to talk about it. We need more people to watch those videos, Viking bitch. I mean, the first couple have gotten a lot of views, but I think those will take time. We'll see. It'll be a passion project. Like Bill did not like Clara's boyfriend, Danny Pink. Yeah, Doug 34. It's a ruined franchise, and it got ruined by a lot of things. Bad writing is one of them, but not all of it. But it took me right out of it. It took my son right out of it, and we used to like really look forward to like watching New Who together, and then and I gave it a fair shake. You can see our reviews. I gave it a fair shake, but I went back and rewatched season 10, and I'm like, sorry, I'm reaching for something here. I'm like, I waited a year for this? Like, we waited a fucking year for that? I mean, no way, dude. It was terrible. Sorry, I need to get a mint. All right, sorry for that silence there. Oh, and then so I wanted to get Doctor Who on Blu-ray again. I don't know why. I just do. Man, it's really expensive here in America. It's like some of them are like $30 and some are 70, and like it's really random. There is that one set you can get, the collectible set, but I don't break it open because it's worth like $1,000. Um, yeah, my entire office used to be all Doctor Who. This used to be a Doctor Who room. It used to be covered with only Doctor Who stuff. But yeah, after season 10, I relegated Doctor Who to like a corner over here. It's still a pretty nice corner, you know. Um, I can't show my entire office yet. It's not, this corner is not done yet. I've been putting it off way too long. Uh, Mary, you watched the Snowman episode? That's a good one. I actually like that one. And a singing, the singing the song to the god that the of Akamid or I forgot. Yeah, that one was not good. Yeah, that one was not good. That was season 7. Okay, season 7, uh, like had good parts in it, not great, but it did have the 50th anniversary episode, which was fucking magnificent. Uh, Yeah, we probably should share those Farscape videos. That'd be awesome. That'd be great. I gotta look at what I'm gonna do. I want to talk about that. Okay, so yeah, VidCon. I was kind of looking at the panels, and I don't know if I want to go. I don't know why I paid $200 for this. I was like, man, I really should have thought that one through. So I'm looking at panels here. There's a super session. I think I'm just gonna go meet people. There's a Q&A for Smosh. I'm sure my kid would love that. Here, I'm going to show you guys what because I am dedicated to this show first, I am probably not going to attend on Wednesday so I can do the Expanse podcast. I will be on the road. All right. So I'm leaving unless something happens, and then I leave Thursday. So I'm only going to be gone like Thursday, Friday, part of Saturday. I'm going to come back. But I don't really. I was kind of hoping for I don't know. There's an analytics one I want to go to. I want to go to, how to I just want to learn the inside dope. I don't want to learn marketing or anything. I kind of know how to do marketing because it's going to be related to my shop and everything. Um, but I'm not seeing anything. I don't even know some of these people. I don't know big YouTubers at all. Okay, here maybe Amazon enabling creators through innovative merchandising. Okay, two YouTube things I strongly dislike. I strongly dislike calling merchandise merch. Okay, if I end up calling it merch, I would like one of you to reach through the screen and slap me in the face multiple times. And the other thing I don't like is the thumbnails where I won't point anybody out in particular, but the thumbnails where it's like a reaction video and the person puts themselves on the thumbnail, like making some face and pointing at like the Incredibles 2 is like, like beyond the trailer. Like if I ever start doing that stuff, I would like you to unsubscribe to me and never talk to me again. They can do that all day long. I did. Yeah. There's something like just horribly cheesy about those thumbnails. Okay, the 5-star panel. Who's in the 5-star panel? Can I click on it? Oh, I know Boogie. I know Boogie 2988. Doesn't he do videos about eating stuff and losing weight? I don't know any of these other people. Do you know him? Andre Meadows. Okay, Black Nerd Convy. I should probably know who he is. So I'll check him out. All right, maybe I'll go see Boogie. Dispelling myths, how YouTube actually works. See, that is one I want to go to. With Ryan Bosick, CEO of Super Bam. I've never heard of it. Okay. There it is. Making the right choices. I won't say the word merchandise. It's called merchandise. It's called merchandise. By the way, I designed some t-shirts. Did I tell you guys this already? It was really difficult. I did it in like 5 seconds. I Pen Farm Girl or Rough Girl, one of the two. It's basically what they did. So it's our symbol. Problem is, I'm gonna make it like a little distressed because I know the ladies do not like and I don't like it either. Big graphics like right on your chest because it just feels like there's something there. So we're trying to like make it more feel like that. So it might be distressed. It's gonna say I am Nerdrotic on the back. If you are a patron, $5 and up, you'll get a shirt for free. You're gonna get a free shirt. Um, I'm sorry, I can't see the chat right now. I'll get back to you guys in a Facebook creator update. No, thanks. YouTube metrics. Now, see, this is the one. This is the one. So I definitely have to go Thursday. All right. I definitely have to go Thursday. What's going on Wednesday? Oh, nothing. Uh, oh, I should probably be there. See, if I go to the party, though, I can't do Expanse and they'll be drinking there and I don't want to go. The Hollister concert series at the Awesomeness TV festival stage. Who's there? Who's going? Um, I don't know any of these people. All right, I can skip that. That's cool. No problem. I can definitely skip that. So Wednesday, we're gonna skip parties and such, and we're gonna do Expanse probably from a cheap hotel room. That'll be very exciting. What I should bring some action figures to put on the wall. I think they like that. I think I'll try that. What the hell? That'll be fun. We'll see how the internet connection is. Uh, Tarka Jedi, love diving into those old comic book boxes and those old issues. Yeah, back issues rule. I will always have back issues forever. Babylon 5 streaming now on Amazon Prime. Been rewatching it from the beginning daily. I rewatch Farscape more than once a year and DVD around the holidays, says Rubicon Alpha. Hell yeah. Karen Gillan played Nebula on Guardians of the Galaxy to perfection, by the way. And I was so attracted to her. Uh, yes, I was attracted to her as Nebula. That's a thing with me. I like. It's weird. I know. I probably shouldn't get into it. I hate Clara. It ended up being all about her rather than the Doctor. Yes, she was a narcissist. Um, all right, so let's go back down there. Sorry if I lost some people doing that boring VidCon stuff. I'm sorry. I just wanted to check it out. It looks, yeah, I'm just gonna go walk around, hang out with people. I'll probably end up going to Disneyland on Friday. And I wasted $200. Whatever. Definitely go do some things that work for you. We appreciate what you do. Get some meaningful time in. Move Finobi out. Yeah, I'll try to get educated. I will try to get educated. Uh, that's how I am. I won't go if there's drinking. Yes, I don't go if there's drinking because while it's kind of fun in the beginning, when the night gets later and people are getting really, really drunk and you're sober, it's really not fun. Love Pod asks if I'm into blue aliens. Yes. Yes, I am. Green ones too. Green ones too. And I think it goes back to um basically why am I spacing on her name? Batgirl from Star Trek. Yes, the girl who played Batgirl, Yvonne Craig. God, I can't believe I forgot her name. She was in Star Trek. And she was that green dancer. I was very young. And I was like, that's the woman for me, the green dancer. Had a little trouble finding that, but I just got a heavily tattooed woman instead. It's close enough. Uh, yeah, it's very uncomfortable, Mary. And you end up driving people home too. That's the other thing. Whom Gods Destroy episode, Doug 34. Bless your heart. As long as you're not into Rigel, it's okay. Hey, maybe I am. I like puppets, man. No. I do like Zahn. I do. Yeah, I'm gonna like her too, Viking bitch. I can promise you that. Is it Shiana? Is that how you say it? Old Doctor Who companions. I liked why am I spacing on her name? The Australian one from the Fifth Doctor. Why am I blanking on her name right now? You know what I'm talking about. I liked her. She was super 80s too. That was great. I know I had something else I wanted to show you guys. Oh, Comic-Con passes are shipping. I can't wait. It's going to happen soon. Wanted to show you guys one more thing before we go. Oh my God, where did it go? Oh, we will be covering Preacher, by the way. Any of you going to watch Preacher? Do any of you watch Preacher? Okay. Uh, Preacher was okay last season. First season was magnificent. It was okay last season. It had parts that were good, parts that were not very good. This season looks like it's going to be dope. Tegan, thank you. God dang, I'm getting old, Doug. Thank you. So I'm really looking forward to season 3. It looks like well, they're going to Angelville and it's gonna be rad. I'm actually rereading some of the comics. Actually, I have my Preacher collection. You can't see them, but it's in this box down here. Australian air hostess. Yes, she was great. I think that's what they kind of wanted to do with Clara, right? And they just couldn't pull off. I think Preacher will make a big comeback. I agree. I think Angelville will bring it back. I think it was just a sophomore slump. It really what happened to it was it set the standard Viking bitch for having this a lot of characters, and they really just whittled it down to just Jesse and you know and it was great seeing the Saint of Killers and stuff, but and you know Hitler and Hell and all that, but it was I don't know it didn't feel as full as season 1 did. And that's what that comic book is. It's not about Jesse at all. It's about the characters around him. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. So that premieres this Sunday. Okay, so we're gonna do Westworld, and then we're gonna take about an hour break, and then we're gonna recap season 3 of Preacher. And that's gonna Preacher is gonna carry us through the summer. I don't think Cloak and I mean, I'll stick with Cloak and Dagger for a little while, but I don't think that's gonna be carrying us through the summer. So you're gonna see a lot of experimentation of the illegal kind here on the channel because there's just not a ton of shows to cover. Um, if something comes up, we'll cover it because we know that's our bread and butter. I'm not gonna be assaulting you with live streams every day yet. That will happen though. That is gonna be a thing. Daily live streams at the same time every day from the comic shop, and we'll see if you guys really get sick of me. Hey, Ruff, your ears must have been burning. Garen was name dropping. I was. What's up, Ruff girl? I, for the life of me, can't remember what it was for now. I was babbling so much. Yeah, it's almost time for me to go. Oh my God, it's 3:19. Yeah, I should probably bail pretty soon. Invasion of Earth series by BBC and the Sci-Fi Channel, 1998 worth the watch, but not the sort of alien you take or fancy to, says Ann Fox. I'll take a look at it. I will. Assaulting us with live streams. Yes, I will be. I like the pilot for Cloak and Dagger, but episode 3 lost me quickly. Yeah, Damien, it got kind of slow. Inside number 9, maybe Silver Spike. Yeah, I mean, I Westworld reunion date night, says Rough Girl. There you go. Oh no, that's a sad face right now. Yeah, that was Rough Girl. That was a weird choice for Father's Day. I'll just say. But we will. I'll find some shows to cover. I'll find something to cover, and also finding the time to catch up on it 12 Monkeys has been a big that's a good question. Viking Bitch asked of Rough Girl. Did it ruin your date, or was it just sad because of what happened in the episode? Need some elaboration on that. Yeah. So 9 was short seasons and easy to review. Cool. That's what we like. That's what we like. So it looks like Lucifer's going to take it's going to get better now too, because it's going to Netflix. So I think that might be something I talked about it earlier, but I think it's something we would cover. Something we would cover. Yeah, there's not much. MTV's developing Amflix. Why? Amflix is only good when she doesn't talk and she's just going on adventures in very cool animated shorts, which I don't think anybody would care about. It's very Gen X. Thank you for the super chat, by the way, Rough Girl. $1.99. Tried to go in for a kiss and Teddy shot himself. Bad move. Yeah. Oh, man. I can tell you. Yeah. So Melissa and I we're gonna do a date night one night, and we were gonna go out to dinner. But first, we were gonna watch Game of Thrones, and it was the Viper in the Mountain episode. And we watched the episode, saw the end, and we were like, I'm staying home now. Totally fucking ruined our date. Yeah. TV shows can ruin dates. It's a fact. It's a fact. Okay. So we have wonderful patrons. I'm going to show them while I keep babbling here. Let me get that up here though real quick. And yes, I do a Monday live stream every Monday. We also do a live stream every Friday night, which are open live streams. We sit out topics on the table, but Monday is just me. Friday is Susan, Dennis, and myself, and sometimes Doomcock. Hopefully he'll come back. And we cover a lot of TV shows. We are currently covering Cloak and Dagger. Going to be covering Preacher, 12 Monkeys, Westworld, of course, and The Great Expanse. We will be covering Luke Cage. That's coming up too. Castle Rock later in July. We're going to cover that as well. We're also going to be doing some retro stuff with Bubba Hotep and Burn Notice and Briscoe County Jr., Farscape, SG1, and Babylon 5, maybe some Star Trek. It's going to get busy. It's going to get really busy over the next year. And, you know, we got time. We don't have to do it all at once. So that is a good thing. And I do thank you guys for sticking with me throughout this, while I babble throughout this entire damn near. Has it been 3 hours or just 2? I'm losing track of time here. No, it's only been 2 hours and 20 minutes. That's not bad. Let me get this up here really quick. And I will continue talking. There we go. And these are our wonderful patrons, whom we love. And I've got to mail a lot of I got to go get envelopes after this too. I have to go get my tires, get envelopes, then come back. And so Farscape will probably be a little later tonight, because I just got to get my errands in. So yeah. So I hope everybody is having a wonderful Monday. We're gonna wrap this thing up so I can get on with my day. You will be seeing a lot of me over the next week. All right. So tonight, Farscape, tomorrow, 12 Monkeys. I hit the road. I'll probably be doing some stuff. We're bringing Instagram back. So Instagram's going to be back, but I'll be doing stuff, some videos from the road on our Facebook group. If you want to join Nerdrotic Podcast Facebook group, go join us. And yeah, I'll be doing live videos from the road, and we'll be doing some live streams from VidCon. If it's something we're streaming, we're not going to miss any of our shows. So Expanse will be at 8:15 at Pacific time. The only one that might get moved is Cloak and Dagger, maybe. Friday night, We're going to do Friday Night Tights from Anaheim. I'll be down there if I have to do it in a restaurant, or maybe I'll be doing it from John's studio. I am staying with John for a couple nights. So, oh, you are welcome, Mako. And I can't wait to do another. Yeah, I'll be back in a couple hours. You're not in the Patreon video yet, Mark? I thought I put you in there. All right, dude. I'll handle that today. Sorry about that. So, Mark Magnet, you said it's like manana, right? You're gonna have to really just email me and tell me how to pronounce that. Mark Magnetti. I want to say Magnetti, but that's not it. He is a patron. He's awesome. I'm an idiot because I cannot pronounce the last name. Pack extra avocados, says Movie Fanobi. Hell yeah. Oh, Diffuse 56, thank you so much for signing up as a patron. I really appreciate it. The super chats today. I got to share the super chats and I'll get back to some more of your comments. I'm not gone just yet. Not gone just yet. All right. So we had Dakota Stanton for $20, Morks for $3, Dakota Stanton for $5, Anon Fox for £5, Rough Girl for $1.99. Thank you so much for the super chats. I really appreciate it. I don't want to sound like I'm not appreciative of that. And everybody who joined up, and here we go. Just looking up. Did you ever review Daredevil? Currently watching season 2. We did. But I think I got a copyright strike because I used music. It was a produced video. So Damien, go to nerdrotic.com and go in the search field and just hit Daredevil. And you can, I think it's audio only. You can listen to our Daredevil reviews. But we did review Daredevil. So yeah, I used to try to produce and edit videos and I put music in and they get slammed with copyright stuff every time. That's why we started doing this. And there's no production value because that way they can't hit me with any copyright stuff. Why 900 Susan, damn straight. Maybe we can do Dark Matter. And please check out the Patreon. We give away stuff. It's patreon.com/nerdrotic. And go to nerdrotic.com. That's where our schedule is for all the events. And it's a busy week coming up this week. My Twitter is at Nerdrotics. Dennis is at The Force. Please follow us there. Mark, Mary, Mako, Damien, Viking Bitch, Bad Bunny, Diffuse 56, Rough Girl, Rubicon Alpha, Love Pawn, Ray Rain, Bad Bunny. If I name somebody twice, doesn't necessarily mean I like you more than anybody else, but it's not less. Silver Spike, Anon Fox, Doug 34, Scott Edwards was in there, Davis 404, Baza, Janet Fielding was the Australian actress for Doctor Who. Thank you, Baza. Mako, and I can only go up so far. So what was that? I saw Trump with something there. Trumpetron 5000. What's up? Movie Fanobi. And Apple Crow. And that's as far as I can go. If I missed anybody, I'm sorry. Again, thank you again for joining me for this live chat. I have so much fun doing these. I'll see you guys later tonight for Farscape or Wednesday for the Expanse. And thanks again for showing up. Everybody, have a great day. May the small folks sing songs of your greatness. Ciao.